Hey guys, just Boost here and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. So it has been quite a long time since I did one of these, which is a little bit ironic because it's actually kind of what I made the channel for to begin with. But, life. Anyway, today we are doing a little bit of a technical play video because I decided to try out the new Enforcer Destiny Hero Sky Striker deck. Which a lot of people were really excited about, me included, to be honest, because I just love playing Sky Striker, and a lot of people said this was basically breath of fresh air to make the deck competitive again. But I wasn't quite convinced. However, I started testing it out a little bit, and honestly, I have to say it is definitely quite good. I'm still tinkering with the build a little bit, but do have some replays here against meta decks. We're gonna take a look at 3 replays today, so I'm not gonna go too in depth, but I'm still gonna explain my thought process and stuff like that. It's just dueling book rated. We will be playing against Sword Soul in this first one, and yeah, we're just kind of gonna look at the deck, look how it performs, like cool interactions there are. Like if some cards go up, I'm gonna explain why I play those cards, and yeah, let's just get into it. So this was literally the first game I played with this deck ever. My technical play might not be quite as good as it used to be with this deck, but I don't think it's that bad. Honestly, I think I played it fine. But yeah, you'll see, by the way, that I draw like one of the bad pieces of the engine literally every game, but that's alright. So the opening hand here is going to be Widow Anchor, Droplet, Area Zero, Eagle Booster, and Celestial. Celestial obviously not the best card to draw. However, if I don't get into my engine, I can potentially like ditch it for Droplet and then draw 2 cards to get into my Sky Striker engine if I really want to, and I don't really want to, for some reason, go into the Enforcer stuff. But yeah, this hand is, as you can see, kind of a brick. So I'm just gonna go Area Zero, see if I can get to Ray here, and I am going to review set the Eagle Booster because obviously it's just the worst card. Like if I don't hit Ray, but I do hit another card instead, I prefer to keep the Widow Anchor and Droplet as defensive cards over the Eagle Booster. But as you'll see, I'm gonna actually hit Engage here, which is honestly, you'd rather hit Ray at this point than hit Engage. But obviously Engage is still a starter unless he has Ash, which you'll see here he does not have, so we actually get to play the game. And since he does have Ash, I'm just gonna go multi-roll and go full greedy mode, so I have more potential to go for Widow Anchor take on my opponent's turn. Just fairly basic stuff here. Ray's gonna add back the Engage, or well, not Ray obviously, but Kagari. I'm gonna add them that, and he's gonna Vader, which is fine, to be honest. That means he has 1 less card to play with against our 3 disruptions, which we will end on, because in the end we're gonna go do the add Widow Anchor, activate Widow Anchor play. I'm not gonna set anything back because there's just no real point in setting anything back, and this way I just have 3 spells in the graveyard to take whenever I want. Yeah, and just setting Eagle Booster is really, no, it doesn't really provide anything. I guess technically it would prevent you from getting OTK'd, because that means this can't die by battle or by card effect, so that's very strong. But yeah, so it turns out he's playing Sword, so he's gonna go for Moye, which is very strong. View the Strategist or Long Yuan, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm gonna opt to try to negate the Moye. Use the Widow Anchor I set after multi-roll, so he doesn't know I have another Widow Anchor set. He's gonna go Instant Fusion here, which is a scenario a lot of people are playing, I think, going to this guy, which is very good actually, because this is gonna enable him to go into the, yeah, this guy, and that means he gets to search and draw. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go Widow Anchor here, so he doesn't get to add the trap. And I'm also just gonna take it. The play here is kind of that if I take this, I can sack it off with Droplet later and don't have to out it on my own turn. If he does end up going for like a good place, he goes for the Ecclesia here, which maybe was a little bit of a misplay on my part. It's like double, right? Because taking this and then sacking off a Droplet is definitely very good, but doing the take with the Widow Anchor also sets him up to use the Ecclesia effect from hand. But it is what it is. He's gonna go for the Taya here. Then he's going to use the effect. I know he has the strategist, so I'm just gonna opt not to use the Droplet here. Just kind of see what he does. And actually he's gonna go into another Grandmaster here. And he's gonna attempt to add again, but of course the effect actually once per turn, so you can't do it. So he just looks up the ruling here and then eventually sends the blackout with the what's it called? Taya? I have literally no idea. And then apparently he doesn't have a fodder for the strategist, so I'm just gonna go. So he's just gonna go swing here. I consider going droplet here to sack off his guy and then make his guy crash into my Shizuku. But I opt to just actually get the Ray back and keep the droplet as a defensive card. I just think it's a little bit better. Then I'm gonna go into Kagari actually in the end phase to add back the engage, which means that I will be able to. Now he's gonna attempt to activate the negate, but he can only use one of them once per turn. So I'm just gonna add the engage back, and the reason I go into Kagari instead of Shizuku here is that this way I get to resolve engage hopefully twice on the next turn. Then I'm also gonna go for the multi-roll, set back Widow Anchor, and so now we kind of assume this is blackout, but it ends up being impermanence. That's fine. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go roll target the card close to max strike, which is droplet. I have for after roll have resolved. He can only use one of the synchros effects anyway, so the one Widow Anchor will be enough disruption. He actually thinks here and opts to not to impermanence, and now I'm just gonna basically engage a billion times and then out his field like that, go Afterburner, pop one of his synchros, pop the set as well. So it's not blackout, which is nice. And then actually so it's gonna add me defeat, which is definitely fair enough, right? I mean, I was gonna resolve engage again and just good stuff. Probably set up Phoenix Enforcer as well. But yeah, he's gonna go first in this game. My opening hand is gonna be Ray, Area 0, evenly matched, and Eagle Booster. Evenly matched being extremely good against the Sword Soul deck, in my opinion. It actually turns out he is playing the Tenyi version of the deck, which we didn't see anything of in the first game. He's just gonna go do some Tenyi shenanigans here. I'm not sure if he plays it out correctly. I'm not that familiar with the Sword Soul deck yet. Out of all the new decks, basically, it's the one I'm the least familiar with. Even though it's very popular, so I probably should be, getting some more knowledge on it. But playing these games definitely helped. And like here, he does a play I wasn't aware you could do, where Fishu and Adara actually make this, what's it called, the Grandmaster as well, which is cool. And he's gonna add a Sword Soul card. Going for the Taya. He still has his normal summon left, so he's gonna go Taya. Banish if you shoot, I think. Oh, banish Adara, apparently. And then set up this guy, the Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, which banishes a guy on, and then he sets one as well, so this is gonna be very nice. And then I top deck Fusion Destiny, so the hands just keeps getting better and better. Like, unless the set is Judgment, this should be game. But yeah, I'm gonna go just battle phase and evenly him. Obviously. That's fine. Set the impermanence again. So yeah, he banishes everything, or he sends everything to the graveyard, but that's not what evenly does, of course. Here I'm gonna go do the Ray play. He's gonna go do the Berserker F on Ray. I'm not actually sure if it works like this, where it actually banishes the Ray. Because the wording is like not standard, like it's not like a lot of other wordings, but since it says banish it instead of banish that target or that monster, like maybe it gets banished, I don't know. I just kind of banished it since I figured it didn't really matter, to be honest. Gonna review nothing, so just go into Shizuku. Then play the Fusion Destiny. Which those guys go into the Enforcer. Then I go to the end phase and use Enforcer effect in the end phase, so I don't get hit by Failure. Then use Enforcer Engrave, and then use Shizuku as well to add the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Engage. And so at this point we have one Disrupt, which admittedly isn't a lot, but we do have this guy is a floater, 8000 life points at Engage, Eagle Booster, Food Spells follow, which is quite nice. He's gonna go into Ecclesia, which I'm gonna allow. He's gonna bring out this guy, and I think I'm just gonna pop it, since it didn't look like his hands had a lot of steam after this. Of course, he could potentially have Moye. Oh, right, I'm gonna go pop the field spell, so I don't lose to Call by the Grave, and I also get Ray access again without needing to go into the Hayate. And then he's just gonna review the Imperial Order he drew for turn, and that's gonna be it. Last card, but it was failure, so yay me for playing around that, I guess. That's funny. I didn't actually know that since this is the first time I'm watching the replay. But yeah, that was the first game. Lucky on my part, of course, he drew the order for turn and not on his first turn. But yeah, moving on to the second match I'm going to be showcasing you, which is going to be another match against Sword Soul, actually. I'm going to win the die roll yet again. Or did I win the die roll on the first one? Yeah, I think so. So I'm gonna win the die roll, and as you see, I'm gonna open Celestial again. So we're Celestial, Plasma, Celestial now. My hand is a little bit awkward, to be honest. I'm gonna go area 0, of course. Then just do the play. I'm actually gonna go into Kainai here, just because I kind of hope I hit engage, which is a little bit greedy, I have to admit, but I do not hit engage. I do hit Hornet Drones. Which is kind of a shame, which means we will have like one pseudo disrupt, like against some decks, Sharkan is not even disrupt. But yeah, we're gonna add engage and just hope for the best, I guess. If we're really close to dying, like we can potentially just summon out the Rose when Ray returns from the graveyard, hopefully, and then yeah. He's gonna go Ashuna. At this point, I figure I might as well just Shark Cannon it. Because if I don't, then I get hit by the Fishuda anyway, but he ends up having Fishuda. So, well, he ends up having the Fishuda regardless, so. Goes into this guy. And then my opponent's gonna play it out really well here, in my opinion. He's gonna pitch a Taya for the strategist, bring out a token. Go into the Baron, burn for 12k, and gonna attempt to pop my Ray. I'm gonna chain the Ray. And basically, if he negates this, I lose anyway. But he plays it really well by playing around Nibiru, so I'm just going to Hayate. And then I figure I probably won't die, but then he's gonna activate this, and then that's just game over, basically. Even if I would have brought out the Rose, I would have lost, because he could have gone into the big guy and then just bench my cards, and that would have been game. So I just admit defeat there. I think my opponent played it out pretty well. To be fair, I didn't really have a lot of interaction, but it is what it is. Then game 2, I open up this hand, which is not ideal. I'm gonna up to hit the Shark Cannon with the Field Spell and add Ray to my hand. And then I'm gonna go into Ray, Kagari, get the Shark Cannon, and then hope that my 3 disrupts this time will be enough. This is really scary, because basically if my opponent has something like Evenly or Lightning Storm, I just literally lose the game. But I just kind of have to bank on him not having it. Because I don't open any hand traps or the Enforcer, so I'm just playing pure Sky Striker basically. He's gonna go start with Ecclesia, use Ecclesia effect, which is obviously fine. Bring out Moye. I'm gonna go Moye, review Taya. I am going to imperm the Moye just because I think it generates the most advantage, right? He's gonna go into Taya, which he can't use at this point, so then he's just gonna go into this Shaman of the Tenyi. Then he's gonna use the Monster Reborn card on Taya, which I'm gonna Shark Cannon, so Shark Cannon actually being really strong here. Then he's gonna activate Shaman effects to bring out a card, but at this point he's locked into Tenyi effects, I think, right? Oh, not in Tenyi effects, but into summoning Tenyi mons from the extra deck. He's gonna Moye, but I point out he already used Moye. So he's gonna go not do that, and I think he's just gonna go Battle Phase, swing into Shizuku here. I'm gonna bring out a Ray, and then take out into Kaina right away, because I don't have enough spells to go into Kagari and survive, or into Shizuku and survive, so just Kaina the Shaman. He's gonna end turn, and then this turn I'm quite sure I'm gonna play a little bit sloppy. I'm gonna go area 0, target set, review nothing again. Review very, very strong cards. Imagine if I could add those, right? But I can't. So I'm gonna go into Hayate, then Hayate crash to the Shaman, send multi-roll, then bring back Ray, Then tag out Ray, still in the battle phase for Kagari, add the multi-roll to my hand. And then Kagari is 16, so it's gonna trade with the Shaman, so now I just have the Moye to deal with. I'm gonna multi-roll, then just activate this field spell over the field spell. I do this to get enough spells engraved to resolve my engage for +1, and then I'm gonna go multi-roll on the field spell to bring out Ray. Then Ray go into Shiz, go for engage for the +1, add Afterburner, draw Widow Anchor, which is very nice. Then I'm gonna get Afterburner, and then I'm just gonna set the anchor. I think I'm trying to pass, but when I try to go to the end phase, my opponent is going to activate Nibiru, because we did, let's see, Kaina, Ray, Kagari, Ray, and Shizuku, so exactly 5. Like, usually Nibiru is quite bad against Sky Striker, but when you do get it off, it is very strong because it gives you the token, obviously. Now we know he has the Taya, so we're just gonna go normal summon the Rose. Zeke is Nibiru. I could have gone into Versa Anaconda here, but we know he has the Taya, and this is just like better floater, right? I'm gonna hit the Adara with the Shark Cannon. He's gonna summon that guy. I am going to Widow Anchor take because we still have droplet sets, and then yeah, going to multi on the end phase. Let's see, the set is a blackout, which is a pretty good card. He gets a Nibiru back. Let's see, I'm going to Afterburner his guy. He's gonna opt to pop my Zeke and the set, which is fine, I guess. I'm not sure why he popped the Zeke because it really obviously just floats. And now, yeah, this is just game because I can add back engage for Widow Anchor to take his Nibiru later, and now I can just do the access code combo, which I'm still playing, of course, because that combo is just one of the ways to close out the game. So yeah, just gonna fast forward a little bit here. I also played this really fast in real time, so that's funny, and just go access code and then gain 3k and then with an 83 damage. And actually my opponents just immediately scooped this game. So I'm just gonna, I'm not sure why, but I just now remember now that we're looking at this. Okay, so he opts to start actually, and his opening hand is Lightning Storm, Veiler, Tactics, Moye, and Lightning Storm. And my hand's really good, it does like literally everything. And he just admits defeat, but probably would have won this game regardless, I feel like. Since he literally didn't have anything, but you know. It is what it is, not very exciting gameplay here, but that's what you get for siding in Lightning Storm, I guess, when you're going first, right? Which is not ideal. But yeah, let's move on to the last replay, which is it's a fun one, I think. So yeah, this will be the last replay for this video. And I lost the die roll. And my opening hand is, it's weird, for sure, but we do have, there can be only one Fusion Destiny, which is very, very strong. My opponent's actually gonna start by doing Shifter, then he's gonna play Pot of Extravagance. I'm like, okay, probably something like Guru, Ash Extravagance, which I feel is probably just the best. But like maybe it isn't, to be honest. Like against something like Eldlake, I definitely think this is the play, but Eldlake definitely isn't main decking Shifter right, so maybe I should have just kept it for something like Red Ice Fusion or the Guru Flute spell, but it turns out he's actually playing Floowandereeze. And in this case, Ash would have been kind of insane, actually, to do it on the normal summon. But yeah. He actually had the field spell anyway, so he could have chain blocked it, so no harm, no foul. And here he's just gonna do some Floowandereeze things. Like, I'm not super familiar with this deck either. But you'll see that the end board he's gonna put up is quite good. And the deck is also really, really floaty. Gonna go for the trap here. Some of the Toucan, add the Eagle, and then some of the Barrier Statue, and I top deck Impermanence, which is definitely pretty nice. So I'm just gonna set there can be only one here and pass. Oh, and the Impermanence and then pass. Like, I don't want to play into anything. I kind of just want to see if he does the activate this card. If he does, like, I'll just go Widow Anchor if he brings out something scary with the with this card, and then on my turn I hope to just kind of win by flipping there can be only one. He's gonna go Eagle. Like I said, I'm gonna go activate the Widow Anchor, and then just pass turn. Stand by phase, I'm gonna flip. There can be only one, so just so you can't drop anything, and yep. He just gets rid of everything except for the M-Pen, and then at this point, like, he can't really do anything. I'm just gonna go show both hands. He just has those two in his hands, which don't, like, he literally can't do anything with. Then at this point, top deck and Plasma is kind of annoying because I want to keep the impermanence. I do make a misplay though, but you'll see what it is, because I could have just, yeah, I'm just gonna show it. So I'm gonna go, for some reason I felt like I can't target this with the multi-roll, but I really want to resolve multi-roll before going Fusion Destiny, just so I don't lose to Ash, because Fusion Destiny is my only play. But obviously I can just do multi-roll on the set impermanence and chain impermanence, and then that's very, very strong. So that's exactly what I do now, because I just now realized I do that. I can do that, then go Fusion Destiny, bring out him in the extra monster zone, just because that means my Sky Strike cards are live, and then I'm just gonna run over the M-Pen, since it lowers his M-Pen by 400. Set the droplet, and then just pass. He's gonna go draw mine. Yeah, I'm just kind of forcing it to chain the hero here. And now he still can't play, right? Activate Hero Engrave. He's gonna bring out the Eagle, which just doesn't do anything. I mean, I am kind of low on life, I guess, but honestly, as long as I keep top decking non-engine disruption cards, there can be only one Enforcer is kind of broken. Just gonna go draw some more cards here and draw Ray and Rose, so all the engine I could need. Swing with this guy. He's gonna top deck Called By, which is quite nice for him, because it is gonna out my Phoenix Enforcer. I decided to just pop the Ostrich just because I can, but then I get hit by the Called By. But yeah. Like, at this point, I do have access to Ray, which is just gonna seal the game anyway. Like, even if I don't have the Enforcer, there can be only one is literally single-handedly winning me the game. And honestly, I think the only out he can potentially draw here would be Feather Duster or Lightning Storm, which he probably isn't main decking. And even then I have Ash for his normal summon. So yeah, sitting in a pretty good position here. He top decks this, which is actually quite interesting because it can potentially tribute my deck, can be only one. So I was like, okay, I've never read this card before, so I was like, okay, that's pretty good. So he's gonna activate it. But yeah, I'm just gonna Ash it so he doesn't draw into something that can out my deck. Can be only one. He's gonna set a card, and now I just have game. As you'll see, gonna target it. There can be only one to get rid of it. Just hit nothing again. That's one of the things with this deck though, like the Sky Striker ratio I'm playing is pretty low. So I won't hit that often with the Area 0, but I can just do multi-roll anyway. Was thinking for a long time here, which is obviously just unnecessary because we have Engage in hand, which is just gonna get us Ray, and since he's on like less than 3k life points, that's game. So yeah, that's the first game, and then the second game, some weird stuff is gonna happen here, I think. But yeah, we'll see. He's gonna start with Prosperity, very strong. Funny to see he's playing Dark Simorg. I didn't know that. Draws into Robin, or sorry, Ostrich and Eagle here. Then goes for the Field Spell, and just start doing them generic Floowandereeze plays. Yeah, so while he is playing, let's just take a look at my hand. I have Forbidden Droplet, Widow Anchor, there can be only one Hornet Jones, and Prosperity, so I would definitely say this hand is very strong, very good at going second, since it can negate his annoying card. It has there can be only one, which I can just flip to win the game, and then Prosperity to maybe, hopefully get to the hero stuff, which would be cool, and Hornet Jones to start. He's just gonna do all this stuff. He's gonna activate this card here, and he's gonna banish this Ostrich, but I'm not sure why. Like, maybe you could have added something like just banish Harvey's Feather Duster, which seems really weird, like actually using Gold Sark for its intended purpose, but I honestly don't think it would have been bad, since now he just gets access to a card he already had access to anyway. But yeah, he's just gonna go for the same end board that he did last game. Which fine, I draw another Droplet. I'm gonna go Prosperity for 3, just kind of see what I hit. I did side in evenly, which would be nice, so I'm gonna do a pretty cool play here, if I say so myself. I'm gonna go activate Afterburner, target his statue. And then I'm actually gonna chain droplets, send my burner and my droplet. Now something a little bit annoying here happens. So I do this. So the funny thing here is like this way I have 3 spells in my graveyard at the resolution of Afterburner, so I'm gonna be able to pop a trap. He goes like target, and I say that, like, you don't have to target your droplets, so there is no response. He doesn't answer. I say it's okay. Then he gives me the thumbs up, and then I neck the Empen and Robin, and I want to pop his trap as well. But then he's gonna attempt to chain it, and I point out like you can't do that. Like I literally ask him for a response 3 times. Like I'm really not one to shark on Dueling Book, but I really gave him plenty of time to respond to this. And he didn't. I really don't even think it would have mattered, to be honest. But yeah. Potentially I could have just negated his whatever he brought out with the droplet anyway, so yeah. I'm just gonna go into Hayate here. And he says some stuff to me in Italian, which I figured was probably him being angry, but actually it apparently meant I can do it. Like I can activate the trap cards, but I know we just continue playing, so it's fine. I attack over the Empen, send Ray to get Ray access, then Kagari, add back Burner just for the next turn, and then go into Shizuku, also because I will be shut out of my extract kind of by there can be only one next turn. And then at Engage, at this point it's kind of scary, right, because if he does have Harpy's Feather Duster, like Twin Twist or something like that, I'm in not such a good position, so I just flip it. There can be only one again in standby phase. He actually thinks for a little bit. He's gonna up to book his Robin, not sure why. But he does that. Then just pass turn. Swing over his set. I can engage here, but I'm just kind of scared to do something like Feather Duster. So yeah. Top deck Vader, which is very nice, which means I'm kind of safe. And I'm just gonna go slowly start controlling the game. He's gonna go pot. And pot is actually gonna resolve punishment, which is an out against. There can be only one, so that's nice for him. He's just gonna set a monster, set punishment. I'm gonna top deck Fusion Destiny, which is very nice top deck. Now I'm just gonna start playing to play around the punishments. Gonna go engage for multi-roll. This way, I'm hopefully gonna be able to pop my own Shizuku and pop his punishment as well, so that way he's locked out of popping my deck can be only one, and then under deck can be only one. I can go Ray, go into Kagari, go for engage +1 again, and then activate Fusion Destiny. Gonna go multi-roll, target my set. He gives me the thumbs up, so I send away the Widow Anchor. Then I'm gonna go multi-roll, target Shizuku. And now he's like, oh, you have to put back Shizuku, I want to chain. I'm like, no, you can't do that. I resolve multi-roll. So we do that, and then I'm gonna do exactly what I said. Go into Kagari, add back engage. At this point, I think we have 3 spells in grave. Yeah, we do have 3 spells in grave. Indeed. Actually, apparently we already did have 3 spells in grave, but I just resolved engage without the +1. Or did I resolve engage with +1 and draw plasma? I don't even remember. Yeah, I think I drew plasma of the engage +1, but might as well not have drawn, right? But yeah, just add Widow Anchor for more disrupts. I'm gonna go Fusion Destiny here, and this is just basically game, right? Like, it's not OTK or anything, but at this point, it's just gonna be super hard for him to come back, and I'm just gonna be able to do a lot of damage. Set 1 Widow Anchor, and keep the 1 in hand just in case I need it. He top decks a wipe. He top decks another punishment. He's gonna go Eagle, which is fine. And then add back all his birds. Add Ryza. Set punishment. Now I'm just gonna play around Call by the Grave by popping my own Widow Anchor and his set, but then he's just gonna quit the duel. So yeah, guys, there you have it. Sky Striker against some of the decks in this format. I'm not gonna lie, I was pleasantly surprised by how good the deck performed. We didn't play against like any Tri-Brigade Lyralisk yet, but I definitely think like it was looking quite good, right? There can be only one is such a powerful card. The reason I'm playing Droplet in this deck, by the way, is because a lot of other people are playing Droplet or Forbidden Chalice, and if your opponent does Chalice or Droplet on the Enforce, it automatically also shuts off all your Widow Anchors, which is kind of annoying, which is one of the reasons why you want to play a lot of hand traps in this deck. Oh, but yeah, but I play Droplet because, like, if it's really necessary, I can sack off the Enforcer with the Droplet to make my Widow Anchors or Shark Cannons live. Um, but yeah, and deck and Willing was just broken this format, right? But yeah, that's the video for now, guys. I'll probably be revisiting this deck soonish against some other meta decks and show that off as well, and maybe do a deck profile sooner or later when I figure out kind of what I want the deck to look like, because in these videos I played like a couple of different variations of the deck, like no drastic changes, but just like more hand traps or different hand traps, stuff like that. But yeah, if you did enjoy it and want to see more content like this, or this deck specifically, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!